Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of Crypto Editor UK. My name is Michael, and as always we bring you the very latest in price, hype and speculation in the wonderful world of crypto assets. Now in today's video we'll be looking at the current Bitcoin price, the Bitcoin halving and the world economy. Now if that sounds interesting to you, please make sure to like, share and subscribe the channel, and without any further ado, let's jump straight in right after this.
You heard it here first. Bitcoin is going to zero. Zero. When it comes out, zero.
All right, and what a great video that was. That video was taken from the epic Bitcoin dump of 2020. I saw this video and I thought, right, I've got to get this involved as part of the channel. This is on Bitcoinovej Kanál as a channel. He has said, feel free to share, embed, include inside your videos. Let's make Mike Novogratz to retweet this. So clearly he's trying to get Mike Novogratz's attention by this video, and it's a great video in all honesty, and just what we need ahead of the Bitcoin halving, which is just only now a matter of 6 days away, as we can see here. And as we begin that countdown to the Bitcoin halving, we will see how that's affecting the price. So again, just to summarize what the Bitcoin halving is, it's an event where the mining rewards for miners of Bitcoin on the blockchain network is halved from currently, for every Bitcoin mined, the miners would receive a reward of 12.5 Bitcoins, and that's now being reduced on the 12th of May, being reduced to 6.25 coins per block. So the miners will receive 6.25 Bitcoins per block, which is a reduction, so that's been halved. And what will this mean for Bitcoin and the price moving forward? For a lot of commentators, what they're essentially saying is this will mean that the price and the commodity of Bitcoin will become more scarce, and therefore the price will see an increase in that. So what we're going to do today is first off start by looking at the Bitcoin price. We'll go to CoinMarketCap, and as we can see here, Bitcoin has just put its nose above that 9K region, 9,000 US dollar region again. We've had in the last few days here, for the last 4 or 5 days, the price has been chopping in choppy waters between 8,600 US dollars and 9,100. We can see now the prices again put its head above the 9,000 mark. And what I want to do is take you to the charts here, and we'll look at the hourly chart for Bitcoin to date on UK TradingView. As you can see here on the hourly, going back to May 5th, yesterday at 1 p.m, the price has steadily seen an increase and has seen us now go back above the $9,000 mark. And what we have to see is whether or not that the price will hold at this region, or whether or not we will go back down to retest previous prices of $8,000. There are two scenarios that may play out in the price here. Are if the price does decide to go back down and retest, we'd probably be looking here, and what I will do is I'll switch to the daily here. We'd be looking to possibly retest price levels of around $8,000 US dollars, which is the previous here. We'll be looking at 8,400 if the price it decides to revert back and reverse. However, if the price does choose to go up, we'd potentially then be looking at price levels of where it's topped out recently, or between $10,300 US dollars and $10,500. So again, it's something to keep your eye on. The halving is approaching, which is marked here by that blue line on the 12th of May here. And again, as the excitement for the halving builds up, we'll see what that will do to the Bitcoin price. With all the excitement building up to the halving, I wanted to see how the market was looking in terms of fear and greed. So let's go to the crypto fear and greed index. And as you can see here, currently the fear and greed index stands at fear, but at a number of 42. Now this has increased or improved dramatically, as when I did a video, I think the video that was done a week and a half or so ago, we were at a number of 16 for extreme fear. So last month was 15 of extreme fear. So being at 42, it would suggest that buyers are looking at Bitcoin, and there is a bit more excitement around Bitcoin, especially regarding the Bitcoin halving event. And with that being said, it would appear that more people are interested in buying Bitcoin. And turn to an article which I spotted on CoinDesk recently. And just to go through this article, so essentially the article is titled "Bitcoin price may drop after halving, historical data shows." So let's take a quick look through this article. And it starts by saying that Bitcoin has again rallied sharply in the weeks leading up to its impending halving event, which is due to take place on May 12th. So here, the top cryptocurrency by market value, which is Bitcoin, has risen by over 130% since bottoming out at $3,867 on March 13th, according to CoinDesk Bitcoin Price Index. The cryptocurrency jumped from $6,700 US dollars to $9,400 US dollars in the last 10 days of April alone, and we did report that on the channel. Now, notably, the big gains have happened in the weeks leading up to the mining reward halving due on May 12th, and are reminiscent of similar price rallies seen ahead of the previous two halvings, which took place in 2016 and 2012. So for all our viewers, just to remind you, there have been two halvings previously, and we'll look here at Bitcoin's price performance ahead of halvings. So here are some charts here, and just to summarize, in the halvings of 2012 and 2016, Bitcoin also witnessed unprecedented gains in 12 to 15 months following previous halvings. For instance, the cryptocurrency rose to a record high of $20,000 US dollars in December 2017. So what this suggests here is the current price of $9,000 US dollars as of today's recording. We would have to wait another 12 to 15 months from today's date. So we'd be looking at between May 2021 and October 2021, where we will see new all-time highs being set in the Bitcoin market. And some commentators are alleging that the price could be $200,000 US dollars by that time. So we'll wait and see how much the price does go up, but it's usually happens 12 to 15 months following the halving, which is taking place on the 12th. So it does go on to say here, some observers expect Bitcoin to chart a similar uptrend following the May 2020 supply out. So again, those dates being May 2021 to between May 2021 and October 2021, that's when we can expect to see the new all-time highs. So here is a quote from Don Guo, CEO of Broctagon Fintech Group, in which he says, halving will reduce the amount of bitcoins rewarded to miners, thereby reducing the supply of coins entering the market. Not only does halving boost the price as a result of the added scarcity, but the additional media attention and the positive impact that this has had on Bitcoin prices historically will drive up demand. So I do believe that we will see a price increase in Bitcoin. Whether or not in the short term we'll see that, but definitely in the long term, I definitely believe that we will see that. So let's look at price performances after previous halvings, okay? So here it says Bitcoin traded in a sideways manner for over 2 weeks following its second halving and fell to $465 on August 2nd, a loss of nearly 30% from the halving day price of $660. And it continues, the fresh record high above $1,106 was set nearly 8 months after the supply cut. The upward momentum gathered pace in the following months and prices reached $20,000 in December 2017. Bitcoin trading in a sideways manner for over 2 weeks following the second halving, and then a fall of perhaps up to 30% may be expected on this occasion. However, what looks like is the case on this occasion is this time it is different, and this article does highlight that. It says the May 2020 halving is different from the previous two events because it is happening against the backdrop of the coronavirus crisis. Now, the COVID-19 pandemic has shaken the global economy and forced governments and central banks across the globe to add trillions of dollars of stimulus to the financial system. Put simply, people currently having a strong reason to search for alternatives like Bitcoin, which are getting scarcer with every halving. As a result, notable price dips, if any, could be short-lived, and the odds of Bitcoin setting new highs next year look strong. So we are in a completely different environment now from the two previous Bitcoin halvings in 2012 and 2016. We have had unprecedented issues financially as a result of the current pandemic, and this has also been proven in the economy. And I'll switch to another article here where the US Treasury has confirmed that they will be looking to borrow another $3 trillion in 3 months to pay for the pandemic, and this is unbelievable amounts of numbers. And here the US Treasury Department plans to borrow nearly $3 trillion between April and June to bankroll the federal response to the coronavirus pandemic. It's an unprecedented level of deficit financing to match the historic economic hit caused by the virus. In a single quarter, the government will borrow more than twice as much as it did all of last year. So there's the Treasury Secretary Steven Mnuchin, and he's speaking about the $3 trillion that's going to be borrowed there. And how does this affect the UK, for example? How does this affect the rest of the world? What will have to be noted here, and this isn't this is a money lesson as well, because what we have to remember is the US dollar is the reserve currency of the whole world. So what happens with the US has a direct impact as to what's happening to the rest of the world. Now, we all know that debt and more debt eventually will lead to a collapse in the economy. We can't say when that's definitely going to happen. However, with the current issues and what's happening with the current pandemic, we can see that more borrowing will mean a further deficit for governments and individuals in the long run, and potentially a collapse, which we've seen, I suppose, a precursor for in the end of March, where the stock markets took a tumble and the other fiat markets took a strong tumble. And we may see a bigger correction sometime within the next year, based on the fact that the governments are printing more money and are borrowing more money. Therefore, that it's not a viable system, as all the governments, all the world governments, and all the financial institutions run on debt, which will self-implode at some point. And most people are now looking to hedge their bets and looking to invest in other assets. And at the moment, Bitcoin seems to be a safe haven and has recovered faster from the March event than most other assets, including the stocks, including gold and silver, and has shown that it is a viable means in storing assets and in storing value. So that's how we wanted to report on current events as it stands today. The Bitcoin price, as we said, is at $9,000 US. Will it hold at this level? Will we see potentially an increase to the upside, where we're looking at 10,300, 10,400 US, or will we retest levels of 8,400 US? The Bitcoin halving, we don't expect millions to be made overnight. However, within the next 12 to 15 months, we can expect prices of Bitcoin to go through the roof. Based on current financial circumstances and issues, money will be coming into Bitcoin. Institutions will be putting money into Bitcoin. It would appear that there is now legislation that will be getting put through in various governments across the world within the next couple of months in order to regulate crypto assets and cryptocurrencies. So therefore, I will say hold tight, hold on to your hats. It's going to be a wild roller coaster ride, and at the end of it all, you want to make sure that you put yourself in a position now where you invest into some of the cryptocurrencies, invest into Bitcoin, because you will see a significant return. And as I've said before, this is the biggest wealth transfer in history, so you don't want to miss out on that. So until next time, see you soon.